Welcome to the Mark Belton Podcast,
powered by Roadrunner High Speed Online.
In a fast-paced online world, who can afford to be held back by snail-slow dial-up or DSL? You need email, streaming, file sharing, and downloads all lightning fast. You need the blazing speed of Roadrunner High Speed Online.
Call 1-866-2-ENJOY-RR.
Or log on to www.timewarnercable.com.
News Talk 1130 WISN, Mark Belling, late afternoon show. The number that you call in that giveaway at 505 is 1-855-850-1122. 1-855-850-1122. It's $1,000, and then you're entered for the big Paul McCartney drawing. Here's the updated forecast. Fox 6's Vince Candela for this evening and tonight. Clear this evening, very cold conditions. In fact, the low temperature estimate has been dropped. 3 below in the city, down to 10 below zero in outlying areas. I think that's bad. We've got a snowstorm coming in for tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, snow moving in from the west to the east. The snow should reach the western part of our listening area, Oconomowoc, Waukesha, and so on, after 9:30. Should get to the lakeshore by 10 a.m. That's their estimate of when it will hit. Here are the accumulations they're calling for. 1 to 3 inches in the far northern part of our listening area. 4 to 5 inches in the central part, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Jefferson counties. 5 to 6 inches now in the far southern part of the listening area. So anywhere between 1 and 6 inches, depending on where you are, for people in the guts of our listening area, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Jefferson counties, 4 to 5 inches. There is, for tomorrow, a winter weather advisory in effect for the listening area. For tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. Going to get cold again after the snow. Low of 6 degrees or so right near the lake, 0 degrees inland. Lake effect snow is likely for Racine and Kenosha counties near the shoreline tomorrow night. Saturday, partly sunny, should get up to 24. And on Sunday, mostly cloudy with light rain and freezing rain and light snow all mixed together. High on Sunday around 34 degrees. Now, the beginning of the hour I discussed this story about the ridiculous 5 years that it is going to take to put card readers on the Milwaukee County transit buses to replace the current system of paper transfers and cash. 5 years. Story's astonishing, even knowing what we know about government. The transit system, which is operated by a private company and contractors, look, this is an enormous change for us, and there's a zillion federal rules we got to comply with, and this, that, and the other thing. They still haven't even awarded the bids, and this is 3 years after they got the go-ahead under the federal stimulus program to move ahead with this. There's another story in the news that I want to talk about right now because I see a direct relationship. I want to talk about the fallout from President Obama's rejection of the Keystone XL pipeline extension. And tell you why. In the 3 years that this socialist has been president of the United States, we haven't had any real recovery at all, and why we have no real economic job growth, and why our federal deficit has exploded. We farted away 7 million American tax dollars. The Milwaukee County bus system to put in a bunch of card readers that they still haven't even bought. By contrast, TransCanada says if it gets the go-ahead on the Keystone Pipeline, that it is able to begin virtually immediately. Remember when Obama said the stimulus was going to be biased toward, quote, shovel-ready projects? Ones that are ready to go so there'd be an immediate impact on the economy. You want to know what's shovel-ready? The pipeline is shovel-ready. They're ready to start shoveling. If you're wondering why, as badly as stimulus was put together, it still created virtually no jobs. The Milwaukee County bus card readers is the explanation. In many cases, they haven't even spent the money yet. So why would they waste the stimulus on putting card readers on buses? This is where you understand the Obama presidency. This is where you understand what has happened to American liberalism. This is where you understand how the Democratic Party has lost its way. If you were going to do stimulus to get an actual result, you would have gotten the money in the hands of the private sector as quickly as possible and done something that would have produced long-term economic growth, produced jobs, put money in the pockets of American workers who would turn around and spend it. That's how you jolt an economy. That's what stimulus was supposed to be. Even Keynes wouldn't have argued that it's a good idea to pass a bill that says you'll send $7 million to Milwaukee to spend on card readers 5 years later. But spending the money on card readers on the buses, that's the kind of thing that impresses the Democratic Party and President Obama. Why, we're helping mass transit become more modern. How archaic is it now that they still don't even have the readers? That's their idea of economic growth. Pay the bus system to put card readers on the buses, rather than expect the bus system to convert to card readers on their own. At a cost, by the way, of $7 million. That's how much they think it's going to cost to put the card readers. $7 million. Is there a business in America that brought in 400 new credit card readers that spent $7 million doing it? Now you compare this to the pipeline, the kind of money spending that liberals hate. They don't want to let a private company spend its own money because it might disturb an aquifer in Nebraska. That actually is the thing they cite. You wonder why our economy didn't recover. You wonder why our deficit is what it is. The $7 million on the Milwaukee bus readers went straight to the deficit. There was no return on it because the money still hasn't been put into the economy. These people want to stop private businesses from building so they can make more of their own money. In the meantime, they dilly-dally around with millions given to Milwaukee to put some card readers on a bus and couldn't care less that 3 years later the card readers aren't on the buses yet. This explains it all. You say, well, you can't say the whole stimulus was $7 million. The after-all market was $863 billion. First of all, $7 million actually is, even by government, it's not nothing. But secondly, you think this isn't what's going on all over America? You think we're the only community that has stimulus money coming in that we've been scratching our you-know-what over before, trying to figure out how to spend it? You give the government, federal government gave money to local governments to spend on nonsense like this. And this is why there's been no job growth, and it's why the deficit blew up. The whole idea of stimulus was while you're spending money, which adds, of course, to federal spending, you're going to get the money back in tax revenues because you're putting all these people to work. Who's been put to work on the card readers? $7 million. The rejection of the Keystone Pipeline, disgraceful as it is, shows you everything you know to know about the Democratic Party. Their idea of economic growth is taking 5 years to put card readers on buses. But they are dead set against building pipelines that help us become more energy independent by getting oil here in the United States from Canada, employing thousands of people in the process. Today's Wall Street Journal under the headline, "The Anti-Jobs President." They write, "The central conflict of the Obama presidency has been between the jobs and growth crisis he inherited and the president's hell-for-leather pursuit of his larger social policy ambitions. The tragedy is that the economic recovery has been so lackluster because the second impulse keeps winning. Yesterday came proof positive with the White House's repudiation of the Keystone XL pipeline, TransCanada's $7 billion shovel-ready project." Isn't it almost perfect The stimulus plan was for $7 million for bus card readers in Milwaukee. And this was $7 billion that a private company wanted to spend. 1,000 times more that a private company wanted to spend and pump into our American economy. Continuing, TransCanada's $7 billion shovel-ready project that would support tens of thousands of jobs if only it could get the requisite U.S. permits. Those jobs apparently can wait.